Now CBS 2 brings you the top stories covering the corridor tonight. We begin in Johnson County, where residents are still dealing with serious flooding due to the excessive rain the area has received in the past few weeks.
But CBS 2 reporter Brittany Borghi shows us why it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, if flood projections had turned out to be as bad as initially projected, this weekend would have been disastrous. To show us why it wasn't, natural resource specialist Jeffrey Peck, the guy in charge of the dam, took us on a hike to the bottom. At 18,000 cubic feet per second, this is a lot of water.
81 million gallons per minute coming out of the dam right now. Yep.
Peck says that's why it was crucial to close the dam more on Saturday night. Flooded areas would have gotten worse.
They would have been inundated, and we would have had some major flooding in those areas, and we would have impacted some of those individuals that we normally wouldn't impact.
One unintended consequence, HESCO barriers meant to keep out flooding caused rainwater to pool in the Monica's parking lot on Saturday.
It got pretty full. I mean, you couldn't get in the parking lot very far, but the city was great. They had one pump working, then three, then five. When we moved in here, the city of Coralville said, we will make sure that you don't get flooded, and they've lived up to that.
But owner Randy Larson says the Corps could do more. He says making the reservoir a recreation area forces them to hold on to water instead of just focusing on flood mitigation.
Well, they're serving two masters, and what they're saying is all spring we're going to let this be a lake for recreation. If they let that lake go way down, they'd have more capacity, and then they wouldn't have these floods.
But Jeffrey says this isn't just about recreation. They're holding lake levels to counterbalance all of the other rivers and creeks that enter the basin downstream of the dam.
We have to kind of, balance what we're doing with our discharges in order to accommodate all those different individuals.
If the Corps hadn't closed down the dam on Saturday, the already flooded neighborhoods of Taft Speedway and Normandy Drive would have seen more water on their roads and possibly in their homes. Covering the corridor in Johnson County, Brittany Borghi, CBS 2 News.